Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books. Let me adjust this a little bit. This is an unexpected book haul and update on my plans for 2022, a couple of read-alongs that I really want to do, and I'm hoping people will join me. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is two things. When I did this book haul, I picked up a couple of things that have to do with what I'm planning to do in 2022. And also, I just got a message from Carol Rohde, and she was asking about the City of God read-along. And so I'm going to address those two things and show you the books that I got. So wait a second, I forgot to get the other books. Oh, here they are. Yeah, well, here's a couple of them. Okay, anyway, so I got an unexpected day off. I thought that my daughter was coming back with my grandson last night, but no, they're coming back tonight. So I got up this morning and I thought, what am I going to do with myself? I worked in the garden, and then I realized that I hate all my clothes. So I went to this secondhand store because I'm trying not to buy clothes new because there's such a glut of clothing. And the fashion industry is a terrible polluter. It's like the second worst polluter in the world globally. And we have a glut of clothes. We have too many clothes. And they get dumped into developing countries. That ruins their economy because they can't produce their own clothes. It's a terrible situation. So I try to buy secondhand when I can. Now, it's hard to buy secondhand when you're older like I am, and maybe you've put on a little bit of weight. Clothes tend to not be, aimed at my demographic so much. But anyway, so I went and I bought a lot of nice tops. That's what I really needed. And that was fun. And I tried to stay away from the secondhand book section, but I didn't. I gave in to temptation and I went and I hauled a bunch of books. So, but before I go and show you, let me just talk quickly. And I'm going to get more organized about this, but I feel like you have to start pretty early in the year, the previous year, if you're planning something for the next year. So these things are for 2022. So the first thing, and I made a preliminary announcement, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, something like that, of the City of God. I want to do a reread of Augustine's City of God. I'm still working on my PDF of an exact reading syllabus that will be gentle, but will get us through the whole book in a year. And we're going to have discussions, monthly discussions. We're going to have a Voxer group. That's what I want to do. And several people expressed interest, so I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping that they're willing to commit. And when I was talking about that, I was talking about my preparation this year for the reread. For me, it's a reread. It can be your first read. I mean, I read it in slightly over a year, and I felt like I didn't get enough out of it. I got through it, and I was confident that I can now go back and reread it and really learn from it. So I really want to study it, is what I want to do. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, in my preparation for it, I was listening to a Great Courses lecture series, and it's called Gnosticism from Nag Hammadi to the Gospel of Judas. It's taught by David, I'm going to say his name wrong, Brakke, Brakke, who teaches at, it says he's a professor at the Ohio State University. I thought he was, he graduated from Yale. Anyway, I started listening to that, and I didn't like him. I didn't like him because the very first thing he did was he tried to undermine Irenaeus's, I think that's how you say his name, he was a church father, who wrote a book about the Gnostics because they were the big heresy at the time. And I felt like he was so slanted, he was so trying to undermine Irenaeus and what he read. And Irenaeus is like the main resource for understanding the Gnostics until they found, at Nag Hammadi, they found these other books. But he was so slanted, and then he was so obviously trying to talk up and put in the best light possible in the Gnostics. So, I mean, I'm okay with just teaching things objectively, but please don't come off so slanted. And my sons, who both listened to this course, said it gets better. They were also put off by the first 2 or 3 lectures. But once you get through that, it does seem like it gets more even-handed. But that just turned me off. And so I never made it past the 3rd lecture. But I mean to go back, because both my sons are very intelligent and discerning, and they found the whole thing fascinating. And they wound up, appreciating the course in spite of the fact that they had a little bit of a quibble with the professor. But so I mean to continue. But the thing is, Carol, if you're paying attention or you're listening or whatever, it's a course that you have to get. So they might have it at your library, but it's expensive. You have to wait for a sale. That's the way it is with these great courses, because they're quite expensive. If you get the instant video, I'm looking at the website right now, it's $234.95. I certainly would not spend that much money on this. Instant audio is $150, $149.95. DVD is $269.95. It says buy as a set, save up to $223. Oh yeah, they're pairing it with another course on Jesus by, what's his name? I can't remember the name of the guy. Wait, no, it's the same guy. So he wrote another one, The Apocryphal Jesus. If you're interested, that's fine. I'm not going to recommend that you spend that much money on it. So look for your library or look for sales. They do often have sales, so you have to keep an eye on their webpage. Right, I get alerts from them, and you can get deep discounts, and then it's worth it. But I certainly wouldn't spend that much money on this course. I'm having a hard time getting through it. So anyway, but I intend to get through it. I'm still going to read the Confessions of Augustine in November in preparation for the City of God. The other thing that I never have announced on my channel, but I actually talked very briefly a couple of months ago with other booktubers, I want to do a year-long, fun, once a month reading of Rosemary Sutcliffe books. So she was mostly a middle grade or young adult author, and she's a fabulous writer, and she wrote mostly about ancient Rome, or she also wrote about King Arthur, and so I really love her stuff. So this is The Eagle of the Ninth. This is her retelling of the Odyssey. You can see how slender it is. And I found I have 2 copies, so I think I'm going to give away a copy somehow. I'm going to have a little giveaway. Anyway, I'm setting up and anyone can join me on this. I had a couple of people who were interested when I mentioned it, but I haven't followed up. That's the problem. So I have to follow up. But anyway, I wanted to start with, I was thinking, and this isn't even written in stone, but I was thinking I'd start with Black Ships Before Troy, which is her book, her retelling of the Iliad. That would be January, and then February would be The Wanderings of Odysseus. And then we would move into her Ancient Roman Britain series, and this ties into my book haul. And then we would do other things. We move on to King Arthur, and then we do some other stuff later in the year. So I want to have a Rosemary Sutcliffe year-long reading challenge, and I hope people will participate. She's a wonderful writer. I think she's underappreciated, and adults like her too, but because they're sort of middle grade young adults, they won't take very much time to read. They'll still have freedom to read other stuff, and they won't bog you down. And they're, what they say, pacey. The plot moves along nicely. So, and they're really well written and really well researched. So it really takes you back to that ancient time. Because I wanted to do these 2 things, the Rosemary Sutcliffe reading challenge and the City of God study read along. I think I'm going to be focusing next year on the ancients, reading books either from the ancients or set in the ancient times in antiquity. So anyway, now I want to show you my book haul, because a couple of these books tie in to that idea. So let's see, let me get them out. I'm just pulling them out as they are in the bag. So this one, here, let me take the price tag. These all cost either from $4.99 to $1.99 or whatever. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that off much nicer, but yeah, I'm gonna have to work on getting that off. But I got this Mary Webb's Precious Bane. This is one of my favorite books, and it's the copy that I have is an old yellowed paperback. So this is a much nicer version. It has these really nice wood cuts. So yeah, this is one of my favorite books, Mary Webb Precious Bane. Really great book. Oh, and this is another Rosemary Sutcliffe. I thought I already owned this book, and I have not been able to find it. But this is the next, I believe, in the series, The Eagle of the Ninth. What did I just do with that? Oh, yeah. I think this is the next one. They're two different publications. These are really nice, I think, this publication. But anyway, The Lantern Bearers by Rosemary Sutcliffe, Carnegie Medal winner. So that was $2.99. So I was excited to get that. This is a book that I have had on my TBR for several years now, my mental TBR, and I finally saw a copy of it, and I thought, I gotta pick this up so I'll actually read it. So I'm not sure how you say his name. Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. I think he's, somebody put an I right there. I think he's Nigerian. Is it it's considered a world classic now, a modern world classic. So I've been interested in reading this for a while, so I'm excited I found that. Then, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, so I keep hearing about Mary Oliver. I didn't really discover it till after she passed away, which is pretty recently, I think. And every time I see her poetry online or somebody's quoting her or something, I think, oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous. So I saw this, and I thought I'm going to pick up a book of Mary Oliver poetry, because that's my impression of her, is that she was a gorgeous poet. So I'm excited that I found that. Then, let's see, what else do I have? I'm not doing this in order anymore. Let's see. This is another thing that I picked up, since I figured 2022 would be focusing on the ancients, that when September came around, I would try to read the books set in, not books, plays set in ancient times. So I saw this one. So I think this one is like really bloody. Is this the one that's like so violent? I don't know. But anyway, I've never read this one. And so, yeah, so that will go with my theme of 2022, which will be reading the ancients. I got into all that kind of stuff because, well, I'm interested in early Christianity, but also I tried to learn Latin for so long. So I got really engrossed in learning about Julius Caesar and all that sort of thing. So that's just sort of an ongoing interest. And then some other books that I got. I'm trying to collect books of authors I really love and I want. So I'm trying to get all of the Barchester Chronicles of Barset series. And so this is Dr. Thorne. I don't think I have this one. So I picked that up. I think I have Framley Parsonage, and I have the Warden, the Barset, what is it? Barchester Towers, Framley Parsonage, and the Last Chronicle, I think. And so this would be adding to that collection. I'm trying to get the whole thing. I'm also love Elizabeth Gaskell. I've read this a couple of times on my Kindle, but when I saw it, it was $2.99. I thought, you know what, it would be nice to own. So this is Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's about a fallen woman. It's a good story. And then, let's see. And then I also really love Howard Pyle, and he's a guy that I want to read more by. Yes, he wrote, what else did he write? He wrote something that I really love, Otto of the Silver Hand, and I've always wanted to read more by him. And let's see, he retold the story of Robin Hood as well, but this is his retelling of the story of King Arthur and his knights. And since I might be reading Rosemary Sutcliffe's, I might read other versions too. And he's an author that I would like to collect his books. So I really appreciate his beautiful prose, absolutely beautiful. And then, even though I already have a copy of The Wind in the Willows, I really like The Wind in the Willows, and I saw this beautiful edition, you can see, and look, it's got these colored illustrations. So I just thought, I keep thinking, and then it's also got the black and white ones. I keep thinking that with a little 5-year-old, maybe this coming summer, I'll read The Wind in the Willows to him. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do. So yeah, so I got that. And then the last thing I got, so a few months ago, I actually unhauled a bunch of books from my own home library. And when I was looking through the shelves, I saw 3 books that I owned all together. Like, because they don't bother to put them in alphabetical or anything. You just have to be really good at going through each book. 3 books altogether. So I'm pretty sure I just bought back a book I unhauled. But if I unhauled this, I didn't mean to. This is a book I think I gave to my father just a couple years, maybe a year before he died. It's by Alan French and illustrated by Andrew Wyeth. And it's just a swashbuckling story about knights. And, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't have it. I think I gave it to him, and it wasn't one that I ever owned. I think I gave it to him, and then we have the story of Rolf and the Viking Bow. Oh, and the Lost Baron. I think that's the one we had. Yeah, I'll have to go look and see if I'm right. Anyway, so I bought this back. I may have bought back something that I unhauled. So anyway, so that's it for this quick impromptu haul, video, whatever. And I feel a little guilty about it because I should be doing other things, but I got a little break this morning, so that was good. So, all right, well, that's it from me. I hope you're doing well, and happy reading. Bye.